Welcome back, everybody. We've got yet another great week of college basketball. We're just continuing to get these great games back-to-back days, and it's just been a pleasure to watch and very exciting. This game we're going over is number 5 Arizona, going into number 3 UConn. Great top 5 matchup early in the season, and what better of an atmosphere to do that than UConn? They have one of the best college basketball arenas in the nation, I'd say, and to have this matchup there is going to be such a treat. Arizona's led by Tommy Lloyd, their head coach, and is it Coy Pete, something like that? I haven't figured out his name yet, but he's one of the best freshmen in the country this year, and rightly so. He's been putting up 16.3 points per game, having 5.3 rebounds, and he's shooting 55% from the field. He's been very effective, and it's going to be a great test for Alex Caravan, which I'll get into later in this video. But what do you have for this Arizona team?
Yeah, as we all know, they beat UCLA 69-65 in a game where Coy Pete was just kind of irrelevant. They were led by their 2 senior guards. One of them had 20 off the bench, and then one of them had 15 points on 60% from the field and 50 from 3-line, which is impressive. And I thought it was good that Arizona showed that they could win without a dominant performance from Pete. On the other side, I just think that something they can work on is their turnovers. They had 15 turnovers in that game, and ultimately that could have costed them. So just something they need to clean up. But
Good.
But pretty impressive win for this younger team. You know, it's not their first test. They beat Florida early in the season, so this is a promising Arizona team, and I would not be shocked if they go into UConn and stun some people.
UConn also has the turnover problem. In their matchup against BYU, they had 16 turnovers, which is not great. Obviously, it's early in the season. There's going to be some miscues, but we're into the 5th game now. Hopefully, we're getting to see these teams' best basketball, but it's definitely going to be a battle of who can limit the turnovers, because that's really what determines these games when you have teams such similar in skill, such high-level teams as well. As for UConn, Terrace Reed Jr. is doing it all right now for them. He leads the team in rebounds and points with 20 points per game and 9.3 rebounds, and he's got a 74 field goal percentage, and that is just crazy to me. But then again, he's a center. But then again, still got to make the shots, and I don't know how that field goal percent ranks throughout the nation, but it's got to be up there as one of the best. And there's some other pretty good centers in the league, so you got to give them some credit right now, because although they do have great players in Alex Caravan and Solo Ball, he's really doing his job, both getting points and getting rebounds.
Yeah, and similarly with Arizona, they proved that they can also win without one of their top playmakers in Solo Ball. They had 3 players with 21, Alex Caravan, Terrace Reed, and Silas Damari Jr. So I think that was impressive that it was just a team-dominant win. I mean, UConn never gave up the lead after the 10-minute mark in the first half. I know it was ended pretty close, but they were up by a good amount throughout that second half. And then, like you said, just the turnovers. But, I mean, both these teams are pretty similar. They're both very efficient, shooting over 50% from the field. And then both are 40% from the three-point line. It's just like we've talked about the turnover. And I honestly think the big key here is the turnover battle.
Yeah, I mean, it takes some pressure off of pretty much everybody on this UConn team when you've got 3 high-level scorers in Caravan, Solo Ball, Terrace Reed, and a couple others, honestly, which I think is what makes this team so unbeatable. Is if you can lock down one, then that means there's 2 other guys that are going to be most likely having a night, and there's a slight chance that you might be able to catch them all on a bad night. But I feel like that's highly unlikely on a team like UConn. So just for me, or just a question for you, which team needs this win more, and not just only for rankings, but in terms of confidence and kind of national sight and just national perception, I guess?
UConn for sure. Arizona's already been talked about plenty between their win against Florida, and now with this win against UCLA and their freshmen in Coy Pete, they have a lot of attention on them. But, I mean, we've seen throughout the past years that UConn just is a team that flies under the radar. Even when they were coming off their national championship run, nobody really paid too much attention to them. And partly, just like we've been saying, it's because they're part of the Big East and not a Power 4 conference. But, this UConn team doesn't care. At the end of the day, Dan Hurley's going to get his guys ready for come March and for the big games. And, I would be pretty pleased with, as a UConn fan, I'm pretty confident going into this game.
Yeah, I think it's UConn too, but for different reasons. I mean, they're about to go through the absolute ringer. They're playing Arizona Wednesday. Then they go Friday into Illinois, which is not an easy game at all. Then they have to go on the road to Kansas. And then in a game or so, they play Florida in the Jimmy V Classic. So they've got 5 games here that I don't want to say is going to define their season, but it's going to have It's going to have a lot of weight on their season because they're all top 25. They're all top 15 matchups, and then Kansas is 25th right now. Who knows if they'll still be ranked? This is before the AP poll comes out, but I think it's UConn. It's for the confidence piece. If you can get a win against this hot Arizona team, this is probably the hottest team in the country, if you ask me. Just coming into the season ranked 5th, beating Florida, the reigning national championships in the very first game, and then beating UCLA. I think UConn needs this one, just like you said.
Well, in other words, he's telling you're going to see a lot of UConn on this channel coming up.
Oh, yeah. Get ready for it. I hope you guys love the Huskies because you're not going to get enough. Lastly, what are you most excited for to see in this game?
I'm excited to see how Pete's going to hold up on defense. I think this is going to be a big defensive test for him against the senior and Alex Caravan. Just position-wise, he would match up with them. Maybe Coach Lloyd's going to mix it around, but on paper that would be where he'd line up. And I think, all the freshmen can score. I think it really proves who you are as a player if you can play good defense, and really helps your team really rely on you.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to how each team reacts. Really, I mean, this is probably the biggest game that's been played yet. I know both teams have played big games. I feel like UConn, I feel like they both have equal wins, but I don't know how good UCLA truly is. And so
they're decent.
We're waiting to see how validated that win is. However, I think what I'm looking forward to is how well UConn does shooting, because they shot really well from the floor against BYU. And that's ultimately why they won. They shot like 53 from the field against BYU and like 40% from behind the arc, which is insane. And if they can keep that up all year, great, but I don't think they will. So I'll be looking forward to seeing how UConn does in this game. Granted, they're at home, so maybe they're going to shoot the lights out again, because most people do at home. But we'll see. So who do you got winning this game?
I'm going to have to go with the UConn. I'm going to have to go 85-83 just because it's home court. But I would not be shocked at all if Arizona wins.
Yeah, I'm going UConn too. Home court in this game is going to be a big advantage. It's hard for me to see Arizona locking down their UConn's big three in Reed, Caravan, and Ball. And if they do, they're going to win. But I don't think they will, so I got UConn winning. I got it 83-78, UConn. That's all we have for you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed these types of videos. Let us know which teams we should be talking about next, and we'll see you guys next time right back here. Make sure you guys subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.